Hi, everyone. Unfortunately, in today's day and age, veteran fraud is all too common. Scammers have grown very nifty when targeting the veteran population, and it sometimes can be hard to spot fraud. So, today we're going to go over how to prevent veteran fraud. My name is Maria Hamill, and I am the Veterans Upward Bound Learning Programs Coordinator here. If you have any questions, concerns, or want to chat about workshops, please feel free to shoot me an email, and my email is here on screen. So today we'll go over what is fraud, signs of a scam or fraud, how to avoid them, and then reporting veteran fraud and some resources. First up, what is fraud? Fraud is the intentional deception that results in the loss of money or benefits. So this is according to va.gov. So fraud attempts to target veterans, their families, survivors, and caregivers, and are usually developing new tactics to deprive veterans of their cash and their benefits. So definitely something that we want to avoid. And today you'll hear me use the words scam and fraud. So what's the difference between the both of them? And I'm going to use these words, scam and fraud, simultaneously, but there is a little bit of difference between the two. So fraud is when there's suspicious activity that you did not authorize and you didn't maybe know was even happening. A scam is when someone convinces or manipulates you to authorize suspicious activity. So as I mentioned, you're going to see me using scam and fraud. Today, we're just going to use them as the same thing. There's a little bit of difference between the two, but today, for today's presentation, we're just going to use both of them meaning the same thing. So how do we spot a scam, or what are some signs of a scam? So first up, scammers pretend to be from an organization you know and appear to be legitimate. So they might even use names such as the Social Security Administration or even a specific company, such, for example, like DTE or Consumers Energy. And they might even use the same logos as these big name organizations, so it can be hard to spot. Number two, scammers may say that there's a problem or there's a prize, so you need to confirm information with them. They may say that you're in trouble with the government, or you owe money, or your family member needs help. They'll often will include a link for you to click into that likely has a virus attached, and it will attack your computer or your software, or even put some kind of bug into your system. So it's just best when you're seeing something that seems a little suspicious and they're sending you a link, do not open that link. Just save you some headache in the future. Just don't open the link if you're feeling a little iffy about the situation. Number three sign of a scam is scammers may pressure you to act immediately or share sensitive information immediately. Scammers want you to act before you even have time to think about the request that they're making. They may say, don't hang up, or XYZ will happen. Or X, Y, and Z will happen if you don't act immediately or in the X amount of time. And they may even threaten you or your family members of arrest if you don't act immediately. And it's very, scammers will make you feel very pressured and something needs to happen right now or something bad's gonna happen. And number four, scammers may use payments that are hard to trace. So they might insist that you pay them using an online banking system or banking options such as a Zelle or a Venmo, MoneyGram, Western Union. And these types of banking options are very hard to trace money. They might ask you to put even money on a gift card and then call them or email them the gift card numbers, and then that money's gone that you just spent probably a large chunk of money on. So how do we avoid these types of scams, or what are some tips and tricks to make sure that you're not losing a bunch of money or benefits? So first up, do not give out any of your personal information to anyone, even if they have some of your personal information already. Legitimate agencies will never email or text you asking for personal information like a social security number, a bank account number, or any other personal information that we don't want to give out. Number 2, do not send any money electronically to scammers. So as I mentioned earlier, scammers might insist that you pay them using online banking options like a Zelle or Venmo. And like I said, they're hard to trace that money, and it doesn't appear through banking systems very easily. So you don't want to send any money in that manner because you'll likely never get it back. It's hard for banks to get that money back through those systems because likely, like if they're using Venmo, that money is just gone to the scammer directly and it's gone. Number 3, resist the urge to act immediately. Legitimate businesses will give you time to act on and make a decision. They will never usually make you feel as though there's an immediate decision that needs to be made. So anyone who pressures you or gives you to pay or to give them your personal information is a scammer. So hang up the phone or stop talking to them through text or email, and then use a publicly available phone number to reach out to that organization directly. So let's say, for example, DTE calls you and is like, I need to confirm your social security number. And that feels a little fishy. They shouldn't be calling you to ask about that kind of personal information. So I'd suggest hang up the phone and then call DTE's 800 number and ask, hey, someone called me and is saying they need my social security number. Do you need it? And they will say no. That's not something, for that example, something that they will need. Last up is number 4. Get the opinions from other people about the matter before acting. So before you do anything, tell somebody about the situation. Maybe a friend, family member, a neighbor, about what's happening. Maybe talking about it out loud can help you realize that it's a scam and it seems a little fishy. If you think that the message you have received is a scam, do not reply to the message unless you are confident that you have verification that the message is legitimate. So if the message refers to a specific organization, again, you can call that organization publicly through a public phone number and ask them about what you're receiving. Is this a scam? Is this something, that I need to get in contact with you guys about? So just a good idea to bounce ideas off of someone else before going ahead and maybe giving out personal information. And if you think that you are a victim of a fraud or a scam, you can check and call different organizations through the government to make sure that maybe this situation is a scam or is not a scam. So if it's a healthcare related fraud, feel free to give the Veterans Health Administration a call to verify that it is or is not a fraud or scam, and if it is, then you can report it. If it's a benefits fraud, there's the phone number here on the screen. And if it's a non-veteran related type of fraud or scam, you can contact the Federal Trade Administration and report any suspicious activity. And in the email of this workshop, I will make sure to include the Veteran Fraud Prevention Kit. This is a really cool resource, and it really breaks down all different types of fraud and scams and what to look out for. And I do want to mention that we are going to have a part 2 to this fraud prevention workshop, and we're going to dive deeper into the different types of fraud, maybe based on healthcare and like financial fraud, specifically for veterans. So if you want to get a jump start and taking a look at these different types of fraud and scams, feel free to take a look at this link that I'll be providing. It's really interesting and very cool, but there will be a part 2 to this fraud prevention workshop, and that will be coming next month. If you have any questions, concerns, want to chat with us at Veterans Upward Bound, please feel free to reach out to us. I have our email, phone number, and our website here on the screen. Thank you. I hope this was helpful and beneficial, and we will see you next month for Veteran Prevention or Fraud Prevention Part 2. Thank you.